Hello, welcome to Health Talk. I'm Dr. Manny. If you ever turn on a television channel, chances are you've seen Regis Philbin in action. The TV legend has spent more time in front of the camera than anyone in history. He's 86 years young, and it seems nothing will slow this guy down. Regis and his wife, Joy, are here to talk about something near and dear to their hearts. They teamed up with COA Pharmaceuticals America and the American Academy of Family Physicians Foundation. Thank you for being here. Great honor.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we're going to talk about heart health.
Yep.
Which is a big topic, leading cause of problems for most Americans.
Yep.
Now, back in the day, when you were on television, you had a cardiac problem in the middle of, I guess, the day that you were shooting or live television.
Happened to be down in Florida doing something with Kathy Lee. We would
Right.
And it was in 1992. I'm talking about 25 years ago.
Right.
And that's when it all started. I couldn't believe it, but I had these chest pains, and we finally had to call her, and she came down, and I went to the hospital.
Yeah. Now, and
just
to put things in perspective, when I look at you, you're the apple of health, you know. And when I was seeing you on TV, because I think every American who ever had a television set would put your show on, you were fit, active, and yet you developed this cardiac condition.
I couldn't believe it, but I did.
It was genetic, though. His father had a high cholesterol.
Right. So when he calls you up on the phone, I'm having chest pain, shortness of breath.
Well, the truth of the matter
is, get down here right away.
He didn't wait for me to get there.
Right. Well, I'm sure
they took him to the hospital, and he had an angioplasty before I even got there, because he didn't know he had a blocked artery.
Now, this was not in your radar, right?
Not at all.
That your husband was going to have.
It took me completely by surprise, and frankly, I mean, I knew Regis didn't have the best diet, but I never realized that his cholesterol, what we found out, was 300.
At that time?
At that time. And that was very scary. So when we got back to New York, of course, he went to see his doctor, who put him on a statin.
Okay. So, so they did an angioplasty. Did they put a stent in back in the day?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
That's
So
right.
and then years later, I think it was in 2007, you had triple bypass.
That's right, I did.
How was that experience?
That was really tough, I thought.
You wouldn't recommend it.
I know.
Wouldn't recommend it.
I didn't think he was ever going to recover from that. He just, I mean, it's a tough, I think it's a very tough surgery to recover from.
All right, let's talk about statins, because I think, I think they're very important.
Are they that important? I mean, I'm sticking with
they've
mine.
saved your life
25 years now.
Well, I got to tell you, my cholesterol is normal, and I take a statin. Because the studies have shown that not only it prevents the cholesterol buildup, but it also has a lot to do with reducing inflammation in the plaques that you already have.
Sure.
So what have you learned about statins in the course of your
you know, I've learned that a lot of friends of mine and a lot of people, after 50 days or 50...
Well, after, a year, they
stop taping.
Because of one reason or another. Side effects are, of course, a factor.
So the drop-off is quite high in people.
Surprisingly, because this is kind of a life-saving thing to do if you happen to have a high cholesterol. And it certainly has given me peace of mind to know that we have it under control. But Regis did have some side effects. And he did talk to his doctor about it.
That's right.
He was having muscle aches.
Right.
And we didn't at that time consider him going off of the statin. The doctor suggested another one. Let's try this one. And the side effects went away, so that worked for him.
Yep.
So why do you think so many people just drop off? In other words, 50% of people that start statin, they stop taking.
I was going to ask you that question.
I think they think that they've solved everything.
Right.
Yeah.
They feel better.
Yeah,
they forget about the incident. They forget the time that they had to call 911, and they're back to their old evil ways.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's a mistake.
Especially if you're not disciplined in your diet. Regis wasn't. He loved a good steak. He loves ice cream. I didn't want to be a watchdog and keep telling him he can't have this and can't have that.
Let's talk about lifestyle, because I think it's important.
Okay.
Now, they tell me you're a great cook.
Really?
That's what I
Who said
hear.
that?
No, she's
Right.
very
That's
good.
very
cook.
So,
nice to hear that.
okay, so you get the bypass. They read you the riot act. Hey, come on, cut it out. How did you transform the house? How do you transform his life or the family life when it comes to eating, exercise, taking your meds, go see your doctor?
Well, you're right. I do love to cook.
Yeah.
And
I've seen you cook on air.
you have. Well, I'm flattered. So I knew that Regis had to start eating more fish, had to start eating vegetables, none of which he really cared for at the
Right.
time. But after, I'd say, a period of time, you got used to these certain things that you
Absolutely.
knew were going to be put in front of you
That's right.
at least 3 times a month.
And I'm glad I did get used to it.
And now he watches himself. He still has a steak now and then.
Of course.
He knows that it's, I think the reason why he can watch himself is that he can reward himself and know that he can have it.
And you do have an exercise regimen that you follow too.
I do. I 3-4 times a week I
Right.
go to the.
You've always liked to work
Yeah,
out,
you
though.
always
That,
like
Yeah,
to
I
work
did.
out.
I've always worked out since I was 15 years
Yeah.
old.
All right. So tell me a little bit about this campaign that you joined.
well, they have launched a campaign. It's called Take Cholesterol to Heart.
Okay.
And in fact, there is a website you can go on, and it has a lot of good information on it. It has Regis's personal story, with suggestions on how to talk to your doctor, and so I highly suggest that people take a look before they
Educate
make a
themselves.
decision.
Yeah. And I think,
So-
listen, I think all of this, we want, I think every physician and I think every medical foundation, I know you're working with the Family Physicians Foundation, we want patients to be empowered. Well, empowering is giving them the choice to educate themselves. Also, take interest.
That's right.
And, I'm glad that you guys
Be
are...
proactive
Be
about
proactive
your
and
health.
educate yourself and read and go online. And now, you have the capacity with digital media to go onto a website and, take surveys, read an article, take a sample test, read about the signs and symptoms that people that we love have had in the past so that they can learn. I think it's a wonderful campaign.
I'm surprised you're on a statin. If you're saying that
Are you on a
have
statin?
no
Yeah,
problem.
I am. Yeah,
Your
but I
cholesterol
take
is
it
fine.
prophylactically.
What do you mean?
I take it preventatively.
I see, sure.
I just turned 60, so now in this last 5 years, I'm kind of planning my.
I know what you're planning.
You know what I'm planning. You know what I'm
Your old
planning.
age,
I'm sort of
right?
planning. So one of the things, and again, listen. I'm overweight, and as I said, I love to eat, and I'm a Latin type of guy. I need my beans and rice once in a while, and I can't help that. I'm sorry. That's not going to change.
I'm getting hungry.
But on the other hand, I think that as you learn more about certain medicines nowadays, statins being one of them. There's a role for preventative use of low-dose statins in certain populations.
Well, why do those guys, after 50 years,
After a year?
after a year, they quit?
Well, just like
Well,
you
if they're
said,
not
people,
feeling well.
people
They're
just-
feeling a little better, but they don't understand that's going to go away.
Right.
maybe.
And, people just, that's the problem. A lot of times the American public wants a quick fix for a short period of time, and then they don't learn anything from the experience.
Exactly.
And it goes away.
That's it.
That's where we are. But, all right, so this is wonderful. Thank you both for being here.
Enjoyed meeting you.
Hopefully we could talk more again on something new. Maybe
About old age.
Maybe no, how to keep my hair. I don't know, something wonderful. But thank you. This is a great thing for the
Thank
American
you.
public.
It was great talking
All
to you.
right.
Very nice meeting you.
And if you have a health question, tweet me at Dr. Manny on Fox. Until next time, I'm Dr. Manny.